Hi everyone, Lee Munch here with your Monday's Money Message for August 3rd, 2015. Happy August. We're in the doldrums of summer here up in New York. What's it like where you are? It's hot, but it's actually a beautiful day today, so I can't complain. It's nice, and the beach is not far, so I'll be hopping in there later. This month, your focus is going to be on helping you really work with your money in a better way. First thing we're going to start with here is the 5 proven ways to increase your business profits. It's funny because it's not funny, but I do a lot of interviews with small businesses because I want to make sure that all the information I bring is relevant, and secondly, that I'm addressing the top challenges that small business owners seem to have. Well, this money thing seems to come up a lot. And what was really interesting is that when a theme that came across when I was talking about this topic, it's like everyone, not everyone, but they all kept saying they wanted more sales. I said, okay, well, are the sales that you have now profitable? I can't tell you how many of them said they weren't sure. Many of them also said no, and then a few did actually say yes. And then for those who said yes, I then went a little further. I said, okay, how do you know it's profitable? What steps are you taking? Like, oh, well, the money comes in, and of course there are some people out there, but many of us don't really think about what goes into our products and services and the prices that we're charging. So the number one challenge and the number one issue is in fact pricing. I'm going to be talking about different aspects of your money flows and things like that. I will be doing one week. August 17th is going to be on what happens if you increase your prices or you discount your prices. That's a very important one, August 17th. So today, I'm just going to go through the 5 areas of your business that you can work on to actually to literally double the money in your business. It doesn't matter your industry. It doesn't matter the economy. It works in every single business. Some strategies work better in some industries than others, but the same premise and this process works in every business, in every economy. So starting here, most people want more customers and they want more revenue and they ultimately want profit. But what they don't really think about is that these are results. This is nothing more than a math equation, and they're the results. Your customers are the results of, this is leads time conversion rate. So it's how many people you talk to, number of leads, times the number of them that become your client, your conversion rate. So if you talk to 10 people in 1 week and 4 of them become your client, you would have a conversion rate of 40%. Your number of leads would be 10 and your conversion rate would be 40. Now, revenue is also a result of how many customers you have, how many times on average they buy from you, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, annually, every 5 years, it doesn't matter. They're going to buy, there is an average time amount that they buy from you, times how much they spend with you. How often they buy and how much they spend gives you your revenue. Your profit, of course, is then the result of how much you make versus how much you keep. So what you keep comes up from your profit margin. So that's pretty basic terms. So what I want to go through is a quick example where by just increasing these areas, these 5 ways, leads, conversion rate, number of transactions, your average dollar sale, and your profit margin. These are the 5 proven ways to double your profits, and you're going to see in a minute. So in this example, we're going to say, and this example is done over the course of an entire year. So you're going to get 4,000 leads. If it's relevant for your business, it doesn't matter, it's an example, right? It boils down to 16 per day. If you take 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, it boils down to 16 per day. Maybe not doable in your business, it's an example. In this case, our conversion rate is 25%, so that gives you 1,000 customers, right? 4,000 times 0.25, or 25%, so 1/4 is 1,000. Now in this example, the number of transactions per year is 2, maybe like a dentist. And the average dollar sale, how much is they're spending, is $100. So your revenue becomes 1,000 times 2, which is 2,000. 2,000 times 100 is 200,000, and that is your revenue. Okay. Now we're going to assume that our profit margin in this case is 25% or 0.25 or 1/4. So 200,000 times 0.25 times 25% is $50,000 profit. Okay. So what we do is we implement strategies and processes so that we can increase each of these 5-way areas just by 15%. Now you'll see that none of these are any big deal. So when we're talking about our 4,000 leads over the course of the year, which is 16, a 15% increase is just another 600, or pretty much another 2 per day. So if you're in a business where you could get 16 leads a day, how much more difficult is it for you to get 2 extra leads? Not much, and you'll see where we're going. Okay, so 4,600. Now, again, 15% increase in our conversion rate. As soon as you start tracking your conversion rate, it goes up. You'd be surprised. And as soon as you start putting in a real delineated and understand your sales process, it also goes up. It's a lot then. So we're going just from 25 to 28.7%. It's not a lot, is it? And that's why I really just want to go through this quickly, but also to show you the impact. So here you have, if you multiply 4,600 times 28.75% or 0.2875, you'll come up with 1,322. This is, you can see, not a 15% increase. It's not even a 30% increase if you take 15 plus 15. It's a 32.2% increase. Perhaps you can see where I'm going with this. So again, we're just increasing our number of transactions, 0.3, 2.3. Some will come more, some will come less, 0.3. And we have a little, we say here, the fries with your Coke, to increase your price by 15%, it's just another $15. So now we take 1,322 customers times 2.3 transactions per year times $115, which is our average sale, and look what it gives us. Go ahead and do it yourself to make sure that I'm doing it right. I've done this a few times, so I'm pretty certain of my numbers here. $349,801. That is actually it's more than, it's a 75% increase in your revenue, 75%. Just by doing little simple things. So wait till you see the bottom line here. So again, we're putting more strategies in place and monitoring our profit margins better. So we're increasing our profit margin just by 15% to 28.75. And if you multiply that by our revenue, look at that, $100,568 in your pocket. It's a 100%, it's a complete doubling of your profits. So on that note, don't you think it makes sense that you want to be understanding these numbers and starting to track them and learn them so that you can improve them? What I want to do is give you a real case study of one of my clients, and this was over the course of 3 months. Now, the numbers, the 4,025%, those numbers are not exactly the same, but that doesn't matter. It's the percentages that I want to go through with you so you can see when we start looking at your business, you know, and what makes sense for you, how we can actually still get incredible results really fast. And this was literally in 3 months. So in this case, we decreased the amount of leads that she got. Why would we do that? Well, we did that because the leads she was getting, not all of them were meant for her. They weren't part of her tribe. They didn't, you know, they weren't meant for her. So she was wasting a lot of time on people who really were not meant for her, and she wasn't meant for them. So we got rid of 25% in just 3 months. And then we doubled her conversion rate. How did we do that? Well, we defined a process. We figured out what was working, what not working. We put strategies into place throughout her pipeline, which helped her double her conversion rate. So we have 4,000. So that brings us down to 3,000 because we decreased. Now we're doubling the profit, which is 50%. So look at this, a 50% increase in customers. Now, some of you say, oh, I couldn't handle a 50% increase in customers in 3 months. I get that. Some can, some cannot, but that doesn't, again, this is just an example. And where you're going to see in this case is down below, you can see down in the profit margin, we decreased our profit margin because we had all this extra business, and there were structures that had to be put in place and things that had to evolve of having all this new business. But guess what? She had the money, so it was great. So now the number of transactions remain the same, but we increased her price by 30% to $130. Why did we do that? Because when we went through, we realized that she wasn't pricing her products and her services properly. So it was very hard for her to be making money. So we increased it by 30%. I'm hearing people out there say, "Oh, I can't increase my profit, my price by 30%." There's many different ways. And again, this was a real example, and this is what we did. One thing I will give you, a little hint. The ones who are going to complain about a price increase, if that's what you need to do, are probably the ones who complain the most anyway. And maybe they're really not for you. That's another topic. So look at that. We doubled her revenue, 95%. Call it doubled her revenue in just 3 months. Now, as I said, we decreased the profit margin because we had to add more infrastructure to her business so that to be able to handle the new influx of customers. We decreased it to 20%. But hey, let me ask you, how would you like a 56% increase of your profit, more money in your pocket in 3 months? Well, and this is 3 months. And again, every business is different. So how would you like that? That's in her pocket. That's in her pocket. Is she a happy camper? Of course. She's continuing to do great, and we're still monitoring these numbers, and she's continuing to grow much more consistently and effectively. So that's why I just wanted to get back to the fact that you got to know your numbers. You got to really understand your profit margin. Many times, I can't tell you, I walk into a business, they tell me they're profitable, then we start dissecting it, and we find that they're really not profitable at all. And they're just like shocked and amazed. So that's the first area. So that's a biggie. So why are you going to bring in more business if you're not profitable to begin with? So knowing how profitable you are, what is your profit margin, positive or negative, knowing all these things are so important. So in order of relevance, when I'm working with clients and what you should consider for yourself, it's, again, we're talking about number one, your profit margins, because bringing in more business is going to make you more not profitable. Not a good idea, is it? So look at your profit margins first. Then figure out your sales process, which is your conversion rate. Marketing is your number of leads. Sales is conversion rate. Understand your conversion rate, understand your process, and work on that. Thirdly, they're buying from you, so you just want to get them to buy a little more. And yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of increasing your prices because maybe you haven't done it in 5 years or so. There's all things that go into that. Then the fourth area you focus on is your number of transactions. And then finally, fifth, because you can see it has the biggest impact across the whole equation here, is you really work on your marketing. Does that mean that we don't do marketing? No, of course we're doing marketing. We're just making sure that the marketing we're doing is more effective and is getting a higher quality of prospect to you. So that's your tip for the week. This month on my weekly webinar class, which is on Wednesdays at 3 p.m., you can find the link in the blog. We'll be talking about money, because not money. Of course, talking about money, but we'll be talking about time, because time is money. And a lot of people don't really consider their time when they're working with their clients, particularly if you're in a service business. It's very easy for you to be using a lot more time than you realize with your clients. We just want to make sure it's effective and efficient, because time is money. Go ahead and register and join us. We have a lot of fun, lots of people, and it's great learnings. I wish you the best. Take these 5 ways, start dissecting your own profits, as well as trying to figure out what your numbers are. And if you can't, or if you don't know it and it's too difficult, grab a laser session. Go right ahead. There's a link for my calendar. I have a couple of laser sessions available. Just go to the blog and click on the link, and off we go. There's also a link to the weekly class on the blog as well. Have a great week. Make it successful. And let's make more money. Bye-bye.